Yeah, YouTubers, Tasman here, bringing you another episode of Foundry VTT from the ground up. And in the last episode, I was much happier, by the way, with how it went than that first episode. We can pretend the first one never happened. I'll use my Jedi mind trick and say that first episode never happened. However, I did want to point out some things. I did do a little bit of research and recalling after I turned off the video, and I did find one thing is how you change this dot color is you right click and go to player configuration and you choose it right here. So you can choose whatever your heart's content is. So if Derby Fam wanted to be more of a, I don't know, tealish kind of color, she could come in here, choose a nice mint teal kind of color, like I show, and hit save, and now that's her color. And this will base off, what color your dice are if you have various other, dice rolling mods and stuff like that. If they do the color, from what I've seen, it bases it off that color. However, we will play with that later on to make sure that is not completely false. So, in the last episode, we talked about these first 4 main buttons and their subcategories. In this episode, we are working on these 4 and their subcategories. And the first one we're going to work on is the walls. Now, I've tried explaining the walls before, like I did in that first video, and confused myself. And part of that is because the Ethereal or Ethereal, however you want to say it, those walls are kind of confusing as far as how they work or what they do. So I did a test. Wrong button. Which one of these moves the screen? Wait, yes. Oh, I can't move it up or down anymore. So I did a test down here of the 4 types of walls, not doors, but just walls. And we have our standard wall. And why can't I? Hello. Oh, I'm drawing walls all over the place because I'm actually not in the selection tool. That is why. Let's see. Where's another one? I thought I saw another one. Yes, right there. Delete and delete. Go to selection mode. Nope. I guess I have to go in this mode to move. Wrong button. So if we come down here, I wanted to show the different types of walls. Right click. I think that's about where they are. Yes. So we can go grab, since we're zoomed in here, I don't want to, we're going to go grab Derby Fam's character, I think. Oh, I'm drawing walls again. Doggone it. Hold on. Zoom out. Whatever. Click on that wall and delete it. Select this wall. Can I do it this way? Nope. Oh, I did grab it. I see it's highlighted. But so are those. Unhighlight those. There we go. I can't tell. Nope, that is not what I want to do. Nothing like having difficulties when you're trying to teach. Okay, let's get this all taken care of. So we have this wall right here. Can I click on you? Oh, I need to be in select. I can't get to the top of that darn wall. Can we move this down further? Yes, we can. Okay. We will get this. Selection. Hello. There we go. Oh, it does not want to select that wall. All right. Plan B. We'll leave that wall for now. I'm going to move her out of the way and now go into wall mode, and I should be able to at least see the bottom of it. Go back into selection. Okay, so we're going to move Brindy here down by these walls. to help illustrate how they work. So I think this is probably the first wall. Nope. This one over here is the first wall. So this wall right here, if we look at it, this is your standard wall. If we double click it, I believe. So you can set the different restrictions and stuff in the wall to make them whatever type you want. So like this has normal movement restrictions, perception restriction, there is none. So this is more like a window than a wall. So we're looking through a window, we can see right out it without any issue. However, if we come here, we cannot go through it. So it will not allow us to move through it. So this is basically a window or an invisible wall, right? Then we have this one right here, which is a terrain wall, or kind of like your, basically it's this guy right here. So your terrain wall, and I have the information right here. So a normal wall obviously is the default type. It restricts vision, movement, sound, and these walls are colored white. So that's your standard wall. I guess I should have started with this guy over here, which is a standard wall, blocks vision, blocks sound, and everything else. You cannot walk through it. Then if we go over to this one, this is our terrain walls. So this is like a tree or something like that. And if we go to that, let's just switch over here. We can see into it, but we cannot see through it. So if we come down here, I don't know if I can fit down any of the sides of these, but if we come all the way around here, you'll see we can actually see into, and let's fix that too. Let's give her 360 vision real quick. Let's go to player mode. Double click it, go into token, vision, 360. That way we don't have to keep moving around. So here you can see with this wall, we can see into it, but we cannot see through it. So we can come into it, and I guess that's probably best to show with here. We can actually go inside the wall if it's in an open state. Or maybe that's more on fantasy grounds. But let's go back into wall mode. So you can set this up where no, it's not going to restrict movement. We can say there's no restriction, and then we could update the wall. And I think I only did that section right there. So let's do this section too, to none. And now we'll see that we're able to go inside the wall, at least in here, but we cannot get out those other two sides because they haven't been changed. So if we go back into our character here, you'll see now we can go inside these two, but we cannot go out. So these can be for things that you're able to see into but not see through. So a good example maybe for this would be like a tent. I could have the tent here. You could see the tent itself, but you cannot see past the tent, where this is just the window. The next one we have is the Ethereal one. So I'm going to read what it says on the side about terrain type walls. It says these walls prevent token movement but allow limited vision. A token with vision can see one terrain wall segment but not two. These walls are ideal for roofed buildings or terrain features that can be seen but obscure objects behind them. So that's the example of the terrain wall. The next one we have is the Ethereal Wall. And you'll notice we can actually freely go inside of it. When we're inside of it, we lose all vision to the outside. When we're outside of it, we cannot see inside it. So this is what it says about that. These walls function opposite of invisible walls. Where is it? They block vision and sound, but tokens can move through them, freely through them. These walls may be used for dark veils, curtains, or fake walls. They're colored light magenta on the walls layer. So as you can see here, we can actually see the wall from the outside, and we can go inside, but now we can't see outside. So it's kind of the opposite of our invisible wall and kind of our terrain wall, where when we're in the terrain we can see everywhere. However, when we're not in the terrain wall, we can't see behind it. And of course we have over here our regular walls. So that's the ethereal or ethereal, or however you want to say it. Then we have the invisible walls, which I'm calling the windows. Where is that? Right here? Nope, that's not it. We gotta find it now. I think it's right. I think this is it right here. Because I can go in there. Yes. So invisible walls, these walls block token movement, but neither vision nor sound. So that means sound and vision can go through them. Walls of this type are ideal for windows or any transparent but solid obstacle. They're colored cyan on the wall layer. So if we go back into our wall layer, we can actually see these. There's our cyan one, our green one, magenta, and our regular walls. Now the other type of things we have, oh my gosh, I keep forgetting I'm selecting that. The other types we have will also be doors. And we have three types of doors, or three states for a door. So we have a door, we have it locked, and the GM only has to left click on it to put it in a locked state. If it's locked, a player cannot actually do anything about that. We're in player mode real quick. So let's go grab Brindy, bring her up here. And what we can see here is she's going to be directly in front of a locked door. So if we go to that layer now, we can look, she gets a locked sound, where other doors she can open right up, right? But this one's locked. So if she comes down here and goes inside here, we have an example of our third type of door. So here she can see an icon that says it opens, it closes. The other one, she couldn't see that it was locked. She only felt that it was locked. And the third type of door is a secret door. So right here is a secret door. Right? I think it's right here or right there. So this is a secret door. This is one that looks like just a wall to the players until the GM unlocks it or opens it for them. So we can see here that this is clearly a door. If I right click it, it can be locked, but the player, I don't believe they don't even know it's a door, so they can't click it, right click it to hear that it's locked. So I guess a locked secret door really doesn't do much. However, as the GM, I can go ahead and open said door, and now to the player, it's going to look like the wall just opened up. And once again, they still can't see that it's a door, but they can go through it. And they can see on the other side, and this one is still locked. Now there are other options you can do for walls and stuff. You can set up one-way walls, so you can go inside them. If we, I'm trying to go through a window. Let's see, I don't know where the main door, oh, here it is. I think, no, oh, here it is. There we go. Whew. So we also have options with walls. Maybe we'll try and put one right here. We can make it a one-way wall so that you can go through the wall one way, but when you try and come back, you cannot do that. So let's go ahead and try and set that up. And then I think we'll say that we're probably good enough on walls. So if we come here and we go into wall tool and we draw, I don't think it really matters what type of wall it is, but we're going to draw just a wall right here. And maybe make a nice big room here. Now I know you can actually hold control and it will I don't know if we've done that before, but like if we're drawing a wall and then we hit Control before we let go, now you'll see it'll just make another wall segment. And I'm not sure why it spawned one off of that other piece. That was a little weird. But let's go ahead and get rid of this one. So what our attempt here is going to be is maybe a gel cell. Maybe it's a self-locking door when they go through it or something. But we're going to do it more as a wall. Let's go ahead and delete that. So if we grab our segment here, we can actually say wall direction. And this is where it's a little tricky if you're not doing it from the side. If we wanted to say, well, let's just play with it a little bit and see. I'm thinking we need to do this. If we go here, although, which one? Did I do that top wall? Hold on. I said both on that one. All right, let's go. I don't think I updated it. So let's go ahead and say that wall direction is left. And we'll have to test this both ways. And look, there's my stinking drawing walls everywhere. Oh, actually I didn't. Oh wait, I bet you I did still. Yep. Oh, that's the icon showing you how this wall will work. So let's go and put, there I go again. Let's go ahead and put Brindy inside the wall. Generally, when you're making your walls and stuff, you're not playing with the token at the same time. So you're not trying to think in the way that I'm doing right now. So it's a little easier. But now if we come here and go to this one, and here's Brindy. She's inside the wall. She can't go out that way, can't go out that way, can't go out that way. But if this is a one-way door, actually she can't go out that way either. Let's verify that it's not the other way around then. Okay. So here's Brindy again. See, so she's able, I was thinking backwards. It's saying the block is that way, so we can't get out. We have now effectively gone inside a trap, a one-way trap at that. So that's what this icon here is saying. It's blocked going that way. I was thinking that meant you could go that way. However, it means she cannot go that way, and we're not in the right mode. So there you go. So you can set up walls all different ways to, you know, make it so like it's a cliff edge that you don't want them to fall off the cliff, but maybe they can see off the cliff or something using one of these wall types. We can come in here and we can also change a wall into a door. So, you know, is it I guess a giant door here. And now you can see it'll act like a door. I imagine if we go back to Brindy here, she doesn't see it as a door. However, if we want to do it, then I guess, does that open it? Let's check. That opened it, yes. So we don't see the little door icon, however, it is acting like a door. So I guess if you want to do that, you can we close it now? Right click. It says it's closed. I don't know, maybe making a wall as a door is a bad idea. But anyway, you can see these different things. You can also set so there's limited, which I believe is kind of like the terrain one. It lets you see into it but not out. Then you have your movement restriction, whether they're able to go through it or not. So I think this pretty much covers walls. The one thing I have not figured out is this clone, and it doesn't actually say anything on the knowledge base as far as I've seen. So I think we'll go ahead and call that good for this. The next thing we have is the lighting. Oh look, it shows the thing now. Interesting. I guess you can't have a wall be a door. So anyway, the next thing we have is the lighting. And the lighting is really cool, really pretty simplex. We have these two buttons right here, which will change the day to night and night to day. So it's already day. So if we do this, you'll see that it gradually gets darker. You can see because she is a light, she's actually shining through this open door. Actually, we said you could go through the door. It's one way. So she's able to see with the lighting in here. But you'll also notice, and we've done this before, and this is another area where I click on things and make lights all over the place, because I'm also trying to do characters and stuff like that. So we have nighttime. We've gone over before in our teaser video how you can set up thresholds for your lights so that when darkness hits 0.25, this light will turn off. If it goes higher, it'll turn off. If it goes lower, it'll turn on if it gets higher. We can make how bright their transparency level of the light is. We can change the rotation if we don't have it emitting 360 degrees. Kind of like our fireplace here. If we click on it, you'll see it's actually emitting 180 degrees because it wouldn't be able to light outside very well. We can change the radius. So as you can see, none of these are a really good example. But with the fireplace, well, with these lights, you can see what their bright light radius and their dim light radius is. So you can get that. You can set the color. You can change their position a little bit, or just dragging them will do it. You can change it whether it's a local light, local to the areas it's in, or is it a global light, something that, you know, just shines everywhere, as if it's high up in the sky instead. And I think that pretty much covers those things. We can go and close that. Like I said, you can change the colors and stuff. If we want to take this light here and say, oh, this light's actually kind of a blue lantern kind of thing, you'll be able to see that we're at night, that this becomes a blue lantern in kind of, well, why is that light not on? Or is it on? I think one of these is too bright. Let's move this light outside so we can see it better. So let's go ahead and move here. Let's go back to light so we can actually see. Yeah, those other ones were overpowering it, because if we even move this up here, you'll see that it doesn't show it very well. So the blue, let's make it a lighter blue instead, almost a green. Oh, actually I didn't have this part up, did I? That's my bad. So now if we come in here and we update the light, whoops, we have to say okay, and then update the light. Now you'll see if we move it back, it'll actually have that. We didn't actually change the, what would you say, the alpha channel on it. So here you can see it's actually kind of all the same color, and that's probably because it's got such a small bright radius. But let's change that to 30 and that to 60 and say update. And now I think if we bring this out here and zoom it out, that one really doesn't have a lot of change between the bright and the dark, or the bright and the brighter. Mission angle, let's see, let's go to a brighter colored light in general. Maybe just a whitish. Say okay and see if that gives us a difference. So you can barely see it, but there's a slight brightness there. Let's go ahead and change it back. What was it, like 7? Actually, I have this back. No, 30. No, that's not backwards. So this was like, I think 10 and 7 or something. That's not the angle. Dim will be 7, and maybe let's just double it. This is a nice bright light on top of this table. So, and you'll notice if we change it to daytime, you might be able to see it. I think players see it better. Actually, let's do this. So it's daytime now. Let's go ahead and we'll change it to nighttime and see if we can see the lights changing. So now go to here. Oh crud, she's way down here. Never mind. We'll forget that. So lights actually are pretty simple as far as how they work. Pretty self-explanatory. We can try once again. Let's bring Brindy inside. Oh, see, there I go. Made a light. Let's click on this and bring Brindy in here. I had to think a moment. Let's put her like right here and maybe change her brightness. Let's give her let's give her like bright vision like 3 and maybe 15. I don't know. I wanted to be able to see these lights change a little better. Did that save? I don't know if I hit save. That's one of my big things I always mess up. I did 33. Or does it, maybe 30 is the minimum. Let's double check. Okay, there we go. And let's go to make sure it worked. So you can see here that it is working. It kind of looks like it's not working, but you can see that she's getting light from this other area. So let's go ahead now and we will try, I'm going to bring her back here so you can see this little area right there. And we'll see if this works right. So let's go ahead, go into light mode, make it day, click on Brindy. And I didn't see anything. However, okay, so there is one other thing I'd like to say is I've screwed around a lot with this and I might have messed up those lights. So that is always a possibility. But you can see the different features of the lights. We also have this little cloud which resets the fog of war. And this makes it so that anywhere that they have explored is now back under the fog of war. She can't see ghost images of inside these rooms. She can't see anything where she was running through. It resets the whole fog of war for her. And then we can delete all the lights on the page. I already did that. I must have clicked it again. So then this will delete all the ones on the page. If you want to delete them, all you have to do is if you mouse over it, you'll see it turns orange and you can just hit delete. So if we have a new light here and we're like, oops, I don't want that, we can just mouse over it and hit delete, because clicking on it doesn't really do anything. If I click it and move off, you'll see it still does it. So you just want to mouse over it and delete. That pretty much takes care of lights. The next thing is sound, and it's quite similar. We've done an example of sound. I don't know if it's still in here. Doesn't look like it, but you only have the option of drawing the sound and deleting sounds. So once again, if we came over here and say there's, you know, some musicians, am I in the right one? There we go. So we said there's some musicians over here. Oops. There we go. And, you know, that's the range of their music. So we can choose the path where our audio is. I think we have some down here. Music, tavern. I don't remember what that is. I think it's a jaunty tune. But once again, you have your options here. You can have the maximum volume, which is 1, or the minimum, which is 0, and anything in between. You can do volume easing, which means the closer you get to the epicenter of the sound, the louder it gets. From my testing, this isn't, it does, like the moment you hit this edge, it's a certain level. It's not just faints in, but that's okay. You have the location of that sound thing. You can once again turn it global or local. Local means it will work within the air. Global, it should be as if it's like a giant speaker on top of a building and everyone can hear it. So we update that sound and maybe move it now. You'll see that sound does obey the walls. We do have some walls here that are actual window type walls that sound's allowed to go through. But if we come back over here to Brindy, let's click here. You'll notice the moment we get close, it actually is pretty loud. Quite loud, actually. And the closer we get to the epicenter, actually, I didn't leave on the easing, did I? That didn't sound like it got louder. No, I didn't. So that shows you without easing, we just have the sound. It's very loud the moment you touch it, and it stays loud. So it's not way different with the easing, but it is a little bit different. There's definitely an on-off right here that we will see. So let's go back to Derby Fan or Brindy, and you'll see right here. And so you'll notice it's kind of interesting too, because here it's a little loud, and it is doing easing, but it isn't like I would expect it to really kind of be a fade in, but that's okay. So as we get closer, you'll see it gets considerably louder. So really cool feature. Like you could do this with a waterfall, have it, you know, so that as they come around a bend, there's a waterfall. You'd have some walls at least there to block the sound. You could have them be walls that they can pass through, as if they aren't really there. They're strictly there to kind of block sound and make it so that it doesn't, you know, just bombard them right away kind of thing. So really cool things you can do with sound. When we get over here, we'll talk about actual soundboards, playlists, and things like that. The last button we have over here is the journal notes. And basically, this will just highlight the journal notes that's on the page, I believe. If I mouse off of it, you'll see there. And I really haven't seen, other than we have the pin to toggle them, is the only option you really have. Although that's not wanting to toggle. Right click. If I click on it, maybe if I click on it. Okay, select. Wait, okay. This is not. Let's hit F5 to refresh real quick and see. Go and close that. Go and close that. Sometimes you just need to refresh and things. I think when it's purple, it means it's not doing, it's disabled. So we can delete them. Oh, actually, is it? No. I was thinking maybe you drag that to create a new one. But anyway, we have our journal entry right here. If we go out and back in, we have a journal entry. You can hide them or not hide them. And I think this is more for GM, because players do not normally see these things unless I tell it to show the players. But in this case, it's only going to show the image. And in this case, I believe it's only going to show this text. So if I say show players, we'll see that Brindy here has that, but she does not have the image. She can resize it if she likes. So she's able to see that. However, if we come in here, you'll see she doesn't actually see that journal entry. And I don't think even toggling that will change that. And then if we change it to image, then we can show players again, and we can actually show them the image. So I'm not sure why this is not doing anything, but I think purple might mean that it's not enabled. You can't do anything with it. I'll have to look that one up. So if we go over here to her now, you'll see she sees the image, but she does not have access to the text. So just because you're sharing a journal entry, whether it's text or an image, it's not necessarily showing them everything. So if you have notes and you just want to push the image, you can do that. Now, I don't think you can have more than one image in a journal entry. Actually, I might have deleted. Maybe that's why it's not working right. I don't have that journal entry anymore. Oh, wait, this is the player. That's why. Journal entries, dormant excavation. Yeah, so I do have it here, and I think you're only allowed to have just the one image there. If you want another one, you'd create another journal entry. However, in the text portion of it, it has the full, WYSIWYG editor where you can add images, kind of like we did at the very beginning of our video where we were showing the creating the map and stuff. So there we go. I think that we're at 35 minutes. That took a lot longer than I thought. But I think we kind of covered it good enough. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments below. That way I can research them. I will say right now, I am not the end-all knowledge guru of this product. I'm just trying to share the knowledge I gain as I learn it, the cool features as I learn them, to share with you guys. So I'm not always going to have a video that goes flawlessly because I know this product inside and out. But I do a lot of studying, and I try and learn as much as I can prior to making the video. Sometimes things just go bad, like the video that we pretend doesn't exist. But that's it, guys. Like I said, hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up down below. Aside from that, comment, like, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Check out my Discord and my other channels. Don't forget, we have reached 1,000 subs on YouTube. I am doing the giveaway. I don't remember if I mentioned at the beginning of this video, and I shoot myself for that. But the giveaway, I decided instead of July 1st, because that's way too soon, I'm going to be doing it on the day of my birth, July 15th. So that is when we will be doing the giveaway. Instead of me getting presents, I'm giving presents. How awesome is that? And that's it. Until next time, I'll be seeing you later. Bye.